What a great college baseball game, just back and forth. And, we told our guys before the game, we're like, hey, this is the best hitting team we will have played to this point. And the ball was flying today. We knew it was going to take, some crooked numbers. And, all 4 times that Auburn scored, we responded in the bottom half of the inning. And I thought Will Freeman and Landon Green were just lights out of the pen. And obviously Dio got a huge hit. So just really proud of our club. I thought their compete level and effort and focus and intent was just as good as it's ever been, and just a really, really big win for us tonight.
Coach, you guys have won 5 straight now, and before, the success you've had lately, one of the things that you kept harping on was you guys couldn't play complete games. You guys couldn't play 9 innings. I think tonight was a perfect example of how you guys have been able to do that. So, what do you have to say that now that your team, what's tonight a good example of your team playing every inning, giving it their all?
I think tonight was a really good example of, I feel like every time that we get together, I talk about, hey man, don't play to the scoreboard, just go play. And we're doing that now. And we weren't perfect tonight. I thought we made some mistakes with our outfield defense that cost us, some runs and made an infield error. So, we weren't perfect, but you're never going to be. It's a hard game. There's a bunch of failures. So I really like the mentality of this club right now. They just bring it, man, and they just keep playing. They just keep playing, and I'm hopeful that as we're having more success, that we don't try to add to it. We can't start chasing the postseason or chasing this. Like just go play. We got over half our league play left. Like just go play, and they're doing a good job of that. We got to keep doing it.
Of course, Dio had kind of an off night prior to the walk-off when, he was 1 for 4, he finished 2 for 5. Did you have any interaction with him before he went up to the plate to hit that walk-off?
Yeah, I told him, I said, hey, man, we're not bunting. And I'm really glad it worked out because we get the leadoff guy on. You got a lefty with a banger curveball, okay, who hasn't given up a hit to a left-handed batter all year. Okay, Dio was the first left-handed hitter to get a hit off him. And I'm just looking at the matchup and who we got. And, Zane gets on, and I'm like, I don't want to bunt Sam Prater, a right-handed hitter, to get to a lefty, and then we got first and second, and Dio's good left on left. And I'm like, hey, we got 3 chances to get a hit to the outfield here. I didn't want to give up an out with Dio, who's, one of our guys. And that's just so much pressure on the next at bat. And I'm just like, hey, we got 3 shots to get an outfield hit here. So, glad it played out that way. Appreciate Dio making me look smart for once. That's hard to do.
6 up, 6 down for Landon Green. How confident are you in him at this point in the season?
He's nasty, man. He's nasty. And it's just crazy, man, like how kids can get better. Landon and Zane played on the same summer baseball team, and both were just awful. Landon with that stuff had over a 6 ERA and a wood bat summer league. How does that happen? Zane hit under 200 like that. How does that happen? And it's just a good reminder for us as coaches, be patient with the kids. It's hard. It's a big adjustment. It takes time. And, Landon, we've always thought he was better than he did. And now, you can tell that he's like, hey, okay, I am good at this. I can do this. So he was lights out, just nasty stuff. And he's going to be a big part of whatever success we have the rest of the year.
I think I'm done. If anybody else has anything to say, I'm finished.
Hey, y'all want to talk all night when we get our butts kicked? Come on, let's talk some more.
It's because you're giving such great answers, Coach. You're giving us all we need.
Thank you, Joey. Anything else, Drew? Everybody good? You want to talk to Dio, the man of the hour? He's more fun to talk to than I am anyway. Come on, you big stud. He's got his shirt on. He had his shirt off for a little while. Thanks for letting me hit. I've seen you live.
All right, Dio, I got to ask the question. What'd you hit?
It was a curveball. And, I kind of props to my teammates. Will Hammeter came up to me before the inning and just kind of said to me, if it starts at your shoulders, don't give up on it. It's going to drop down in there for a strike. And I wasn't sitting on curveball, but he kind of told me you're going to see it. Just don't give up on it because it's got a lot of depth and it's going to break a lot. And that's kind of what happened with that first pitch. I was lucky enough to see it, and it dropped down in there, and I was lucky enough to put a good swing on it.
you kind of had an off night prior to that moment. You know, you're 1 for 4, you finished 2 for 5 with that last hit. What's going through your mind as you're stepping up to the plate? You know, is anything in your mind going off recently, or do you just have to clear it all out before you step in that batter's box?
You know, I mean, it's no secret kind of there for a 3-week, 1-month stretch there. I was kind of going through a bit of a skid. And I think part of that skid came from just putting too much pressure on myself. And, you know, if I started the night 0 for 1, it was like, oh crap. If I don't get to hit my next at bat, that average is going down and it's going to drop below this point and this and that. And the last kind of 2 weeks, the adjustment I've kind of made mentally was just, you know, be true to who I am and take it one at bat at a time. And I think that's really helped me, you know, or obviously on a night like tonight where I start 1 for 4, you know, my prior at bats weren't even in the back of my mind. You know, right now I feel like I'm seeing the ball really well. And, you know, sometimes pitchers make pitches and bounces don't go your way. And that's kind of what I felt like happened tonight. And, you know, going into that last at bat, I had the same confidence I would have if I was 4 for 4 with 4 home runs.
All right. Thank you.
No doubt. Dio, I just wanted to ask you really quickly, you know, how big has it been to bounce back and be on this streak since that loss to Louisiana Monroe? I know the team was a little down, but then your 3-run homer was huge on Sunday because it was the first road sweep in a long time for Alabama. And, of course, in this league, it's such a meat grinder, but you guys now are definitely back in it.
Yeah, I mean, those first few weekends and obviously that game against Louisiana Monroe, I'd say they're a bit different situations. Those first 3 weekends in SEC play, I thought we really battled and we really competed and bounces just didn't go our way, whether it was, you know, them getting a big hit late or, you know, some unlucky bounces with the bat. I really thought we were really close those first 3 weekends, and I wasn't really worried about, you know, where we were at or our season being in jeopardy or anything like that. I knew the bats were going to come around and pitching was going to be great, just like it has been. And obviously we've been lucky enough to you know, do well the last weekend and obviously tonight. And it's just been an ongoing message in the locker room, you know, stick with it, keep competing. We're a good team with good players, and eventually things are going to bounce our way. And I think we're seeing the fruits of that right now.
And I wanted to ask you too, talk about Lando. I mean, he was huge in the Texas A&M series. And then tonight, I mean, Freeman was the bridge, but that was some nasty stuff he had tonight. I was listening to, you know, Kyle Peterson and the guys calling the game, and they were really impressed. I mean, right now he's a real force out of the bullpen for you guys.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. You know, his stuff is second to none. And, you know, I'm just so happy for Landon to see him doing this. You know, he's always been a hard worker, a great kid, but sometimes obviously being in the SEC, pressure gets you just like it gets to me. And it's been awesome seeing him just go out there and compete and do his thing, because we all knew how good he could be. And it's been awesome to see him play like that this year and, you know, really be dominant every single time he's on the mound.
Anything else?
Yeah, Dio, there was a clear displeasure with the crowd that had with a home plate umpire. Was there any message that Coach Bo told you guys just to keep your heads in there and not really complain about any calls that you were getting?
You know, we kind of just try and stay out of that. Obviously, you know, sometimes as hitters, you're not happy with calls. And obviously sometimes as a pitcher, you're not happy with calls too. But, you know, those are kind of things that we can't control. And I think getting mad over things like that and getting frustrated is only going to hurt us. Like after those calls are made, there's really nothing we can do to change that. And I think that's been a message not only in a situation like that, but with everything. You know, once something happens, you got to just flush it and move on, whether that being at bat, a bad call, you know, or a bad play in the field. I think that's kind of been the message in our locker room. And I think it's why we're having some success.
And Dio, on that last hit to win the game, Coach called you over to the third base box. What did he tell you going into the at bat?
He said, I'm not going to make you bunt. He said, every other coach in America left on left would probably make you bunt right now, but I'm not going to make you bunt. He goes, just breathe. So, you know, he's been awesome with me. I'm kind of a kid that overthinks things and, you know, thinks myself into a hole sometimes. So, He's done a really good job as much of a baseball coach as being a mental coach and, you know, trying to keep things simple for me. And between him and Coach Zuli, you know, they've helped me grow so much as a hitter and as a player. And, you know, that was just one of those situations where, you know, him calling me over there probably settled me down a little bit and allowed me to get that big hit.